What is going on, everyone? Chalk here, and my last VR mentor list did both really great for my channel. There's been quite a few people who have been requesting a updated one, and also there seems to be quite a few people who disagree, which is just fine. So now we're going to be doing On the Verge of Shisui being unlocked, being available to us, and Season 3 not being completed yet. We're going to be doing another video because people have been requesting it. Now, there's something important to understand that there are, for me, the base VR mentors, they have, they have two different gradings. If you're going to get all the DLC and if you're not going to get all the DLC. So somebody like base Naruto, he's going to be more useful if you don't get the DLC. Versus if you do have the DLC, base Naruto may not be nearly as useful. So, without further ado, let's jump in it. We're gonna rate all the VR mentors. How I rate them is do they give you multiple abilities that are useful? Do they give you a shadow clone that's useful? And how useful is their ult? So, here we go. Starting off with the man himself, Naruto, who the game's after. But we're gonna be using base Naruto. Base Naruto gives you a couple decent skills. It's pretty great to run around as him when you're first fresh into the game, but ultimately his ult is kind of hard to hit. His Rasen Shuriken can break some of the defensive abilities and some guards, and Rasengan again can hit, but I would say he is a C tier. C tier is what I consider to be average. Average is okay, that's why it's green color. B is above average. D is below average, below useful. Gaara, we have Sand Shield, Sand Mausoleum, Sand Clone, Sand. He's gonna instantly get a B tier. Instantly. Now he has a pretty decent ult. It doesn't usually one shot, and there's gonna be some better defense types in the game. So he's B. Following with him is going to be Daedra, also a B type. He may, that may be higher for some of you guys, but he has a few abilities. His dragon that sits there, that's kind of annoying in base battle. The dragons that fly and hit you, those are also annoying. His ult can also be clutch if you can use it correctly. His clay clone can also be useful. So he's, a little bit above average. Kisame, we're going to go, he's A rank. Kisame with Subterranean, Shark Bomb going through the water, or going through walls. The only thing that's negative about the regular Shark Bomb is they had nerfed it. It doesn't hit quite as well. Also, his Super Shark Bomb, really good for a defense type. I feel that A rank is right where he belongs. Pain's a tough one because he's been nerfed and whatnot with all the abilities that you get with him. He's gonna have to go. Almighty Push breaks stuff. Pull. I'm gonna C or B. C, B, or A. It's hard. That's a hard one for me to say. Hey, he's better than or on the same. His jutsus are on the same, grade as Kisame. So that's hard for me to say. Itachi, I'm gonna say Itachi's average. I'm just gonna say Itachi's average when you look at the grand scheme of things and you look at all the DLCs that you have available to you. If you don't have DLCs, he might make it in the B rank, but Itachi's average. Kabuto, we're gonna go B. He has a heal type ability that's just not very useful. His other two abilities can be incredibly useful, especially in Capture the Flag. His Chakra Scalpel, his ult is pretty useful. But I like to grade things that are all of the abilities useful, and one of his abilities isn't so useful. Conan could be an A rank if you're just judging on capture the flag. Could be a D rank if you're judging on barrier. It just depends on where you're playing and whatnot. I like Conan as a B rank, and I'll tell you why. The paper clone jutsu is super useful if you catch people in it and you don't have DLC. Super useful. It resets their ninjutsu. She has two other abilities. One of them is okay. The other one you can use really good and capture the flag. Her alt is okay at best, but that clone really, really bumps her up. One can argue C rank, average. And so, for me personally, B rank, but for this list, I would have to say maybe C rank. Now, we're moving on to Boruto. Boruto's gonna get a C rank. Nothing crazy special about Boruto's abilities. Vanishing Rasengan is good, helps, has decent knockback, but nothing super crazy with that. Speaking of things that are nothing super crazy, we have Sadara. Sadara's alt is really good when you don't have DLC, and if you do have the DLC and you have all of the season passes, she's right around here, average to above average. We're gonna go ahead and throw her in she's average. If you're gonna be starting off the game and you want to get some good heal type abilities, there you go. Mitsuki, on the other hand, he's an A rank. Solid A rank. Snake Thrust, Ripple, both those heal you. Sage Mode heals you. Those two, it's not uncommon that if you run in any type of game type, you're going to see somebody running either of these abilities, base abilities or alts. That's not uncommon there. Sasuke, we're going to go regular Sasuke, going to go B rank. Kirin, Fireball, Chidori, all somewhat useful, so he's falling in above average. Remember, B is above average. Tsunade, last time I gave Tsunade high praise, and we're going to do it again. Tsunade, high praises. She gets decent healing, has a great alt for healing, and I believe her standard taijutsu moves takes people out of subterranean. How do you not like that? So, high ranking there. I don't know if you guys can hear my neighbor with the motorcycle. Hopefully you can't. Let's see here. Alright. There's someone who drove by. Jiraiya. We're gonna go average. Jiraiya's abilities are somewhat on the same tier as Gaara's when you compare them defense type to defense type. Neil Jizo is pretty good, just like Sandshield. He has his mud jutsu that slows him down and resets their ninjutsu, just like Sand Shower. Sand Shower is a ability that messes with their effects, and Bring Down the House jutsu is a one shot, but it's kind of like a Kirin, so right there with Sasuke, above average. Orochimaru, if you're running around as range type, I would say he's gonna be either average or above average, depending on how well you use him and how good you are. His alt used to be pretty good, but there's better alts in the game, so we're gonna go, he's average. Madara, we're gonna have to go top tier again. Madara with that Majestic Destroyer Flame, when you team it up with people who like Haku's substitution, that's almost a one shot. Sometimes it is a one shot, and sometimes you can get multiple people in that one shot. Alt is a little long. Hiding Ash Jutsu works great. There's really, to me, there's no reason why he's not top tier. He's top tier in the anime. No reason why he's not top tier here. Hiruzen, fun to use, fun to play. Average. There's nothing phenomenal about him. Reaper Deathsteel is pretty great. His, he gives, you get a weapon with him. It's all right. Nothing too crazy with Hirzen. Fireball is pretty nice to have, but overall I would say average. The second Hokage, we're gonna go God tier? No, just kidding. I'm gonna drop him as A rank. Am I gonna drop him A rank? His ult is pretty good. Water Dragon. Yeah, Water Dragon goes through walls. I mean, even if his other ability isn't nearly that good, when you're using Tandem Paper Bomb effectively with other jutsus in the game, and Water Dragon tracks well, goes through walls, takes the flag out, knocks people off of bases, can help you with your KD. I don't see how he's not A rank. He minimum. Obito, I like Obito. I like his ult. His combo is pretty good. The combo climax is okay. And because of those, we're going to have to go with above average. He's above average. The abilities you can use, he's not game changing, but if you have someone who can use his abilities really well, that's a strong member for your team. Minato, as much as people probably want him to be an S rank, I'm going to have to go A rank. A rank is, remember, 2 tiers above average. That's still really high praises. The Flying Thunder God level 1 is really good. For flag, you can also use it defensively, offensively, if you're creative with it. Flying Thunder God 2 is pretty good, and 3. They're all pretty good. They're all real, and he has 3 strong jutsu abilities. One of them makes it really easy for flag type. Also defense type, if you get knocked off where you're at, just remember it has a slow cooldown on that. Pretty good. Hashirama, we're gonna have to go S. Here's why. No, maybe not. S rank? A rank. He has the wood dragon that everybody, when you watch people in the tuning exams or the pit, if someone's using it, oh, they're cheating, oh, they're hacking, oh, you're using broken abilities. Well, it's part of the game. So that's pretty decent. His Buddha hands are pretty decent. His ult is really good, just hard to hit. That's gonna have to drop him down to an A rank. So Hashirama, A rank. Fight me about it. It's all good. Zabuza, Hidden Mist Jutsu. He has one ability that makes it to where you're almost invulnerable for a short period of time. You can also hold people in place while other people are charging an ult. Hidden Mist Jutsu is somewhat annoying, but if you combo it well with another VR mentor on the list, you can do massive damage with it. We're gonna go with A. Sakura's gotta be an A type. Just on her healing alone. The amount of healers who use cellular extraction, what it does, how much it heals, the fact that it, negates all the effects that you have on you. Her little punch breaks subterranean if you can time it well. Mitonic regeneration is really good, just a lot of people don't use it anymore. It's a revive, which there's nothing wrong with having a little revive. So pretty good. Sai, we're gonna go average. His birds and twin lions are good, but unless you're using the glitch where you can double cast it, and that's, and his ult is decent, but you don't see his ult being used that much. Cruising along through all the non-DLC people still. I know we have some DLC people sprinkled in there. base Kakashi. Base Kakashi has the Sharingan, which makes him above average already. It's a ability that you can only get through him. At least his Sharingan. His Kamui is decent but hard to hit, and Lightning Blade people like to use in flag builds. I would say it's pretty fair to say Kakashi is above average. Yamato is probably average. The dome wall is really good. You can freeze people in place. His ult is okay. So I would say average. Rock Lee. Man, I love me some Rock Lee. I would say he's definitely above average. One could argue if you don't have DLC, he's A rank. If you do have a DLC, he might drop. But if you don't have DLC, he's A rank. Just is how easy his abilities are to use and to hit, and they break guards. His ult is, helps you heal. I would say A rank if you don't have the DLC. Shikamaru as a attack heal type, I would say above average. He's above average. As a regular heal type, his abilities, he's below average. Because you have to remember, the heart is support, so it doesn't mean heal type. So, I would say he's around the average to below average range. Same thing with Choji. Around the average to below average range. His abilities are fine. Just once you get Kisame and Mitsuki, or anybody in the DLC, you're probably gonna rotate his abilities out. Hinata Air Palms alone is gonna get you an average, and the ult that helps reset the Twin Line Fist, it helps reset the enemy's gauge, ultimate gauge. It has one-shot potential, so we're gonna go anywhere between average to above average. Yakugan's alright. Air Palms is really where it's at. And, so Air Palms is, again, really where it's at. And the ult, same level as Kabuto. I feel pretty confident with that one. Haku's a little tricky because the clone for Haku, the ice clone, is fantastic. I love it. Use it on majority of my builds. The ult is okay. Their trap is okay. I would say, as range types are concerned, above average. Above average, pretty good B rank. I would say that's pretty good. Inoki's one of the ones that I had troubles with, because originally when I made this list, Inoki's abilities I didn't like. I spent a lot of time using them, and I'm going to throw Inoki as a support type above average. I'm not really 100% sure where Inoki ranked originally. So in my original list, Inoki was average, and I'm going to bump him to above average. His ult is still pretty rough to hit, has kind of a long timer, but the heavy boulder jutsu works really well if you have a lot of people who are doing a lot of output and damage. You're slowing the people down. In barrier battle, flag battle, slowing them down is great. Light boulder jutsu is the exact opposite. Helps your team faster. I think it affects your guys' cooldown on jutsus, make them speeds up. Pretty good. Killer B's got to be around A rank. Octo Hug, a lot of people whine about Octo Hug. Any ability that people whine about naturally is going to increase their effectiveness. I've seen a lot of people use his version of his little sword dance, which is his version of 8 trigrams rotation. That works pretty well, and I love his ult. His ult is fantastic. Now, Sasuke. This is Boruto Sasuke. Boruto Sasuke, it can be either G rank or S rank, depending on what abilities you're using and when you're using them. His ult is one of the most popular ults I see. The Chidori Onyx one, the Susanoo one. Heavenly Hand Power, where you flip with people, is super annoying, but Whether it's in the game or not, pitfalls are in the game, and he is a pitfall machine. Whether you agree with pitfalling or not, I don't. I hate when people pitfall. It's easy kills, cheap kills. It's in the game. It works effectively. He's got to be the top tier rank. Right there with Madara. Now, Ino. Ino is a tricky one. Because Ino herself, jutsus are decent enough to make the A rank. Her healing everywhere you can go hide and heal, that's a fantastic ability. Her ult is pretty decent. Her other attack, mind transfer, a little difficult to hit, but pretty decent. I'm gonna have to give Ino an S rank, just purely based upon what you can use her abilities with and how you can combo them. You can combo her ultimate with your other teammates' ultimates, freeze in place like Kabuto, but you have the ability to heal across the map like Tsunade's ult, but it's a base attack. We all know, we've all went against heal types with that. Heal types also who are comboing with the Mizukage's Water Pillar and that Vapor Cloud. So that Vapor Cloud is what I alluded to earlier when I was talking about Zabuza's ult. You know, you add in an extra layer of visibility where it's harder for you to see as the opponent. That Vapor Cloud is nasty. If if you're combining it with anybody who slows down people, you're just gonna chew them up HP wise. Her pillar, Water Pillar, is OP in pretty much every game mode. The lava ability is okay, but you also get a really decent tank weapon out of it, or a defense type weapon. So I don't know how, Mitamori would drop to an A. If you think they're lower, please comment below. Might Guy, Dynamic Entry, and Youthful Roar are pretty good. 8. I love his ult, but I don't think he's S rank material. I do think he's A to B rank. I'm gonna drop him in there with A rank. That 8, his ultimate is pretty good, pretty fun to use. There's 2 different variations that you can use with it. Just like Killer B, it has like 2 different modes within the ult. So it's not just a one shot that you use. Pretty great. Hokage Naruto, I mean, he's the best character in the anime. He's better be the best character in the game, and his jutsus are pretty dang great. If you're not familiar with Hokage Naruto, if you only have a little bit of money to spend and you like attack type, go buy him. You get Kurama Link mode, it heals Gamabunta in barrier battle, it heals your friends, you become fast. Both of his Rasen Rampages, those are phenomenal abilities. Pretty high rank. Now, to the meaty greedies here, the news DLCs. Now, we are a couple days away from Shisui, and I imagine Shisui on hype alone is probably going to be A to S rank. Plain and simple, that's where I imagine Shisui is going to fall. Everybody loves him. But he's not on here right now. Who is on here is Boruto or Hokage, or I guess he wasn't really Hokage at the time when he had the double Sharingan, Kakashi. Now, you get a decent enough ult, you get a little hacks like you do with Obito, and you get another Chidori, Lightning Blade, I do believe. I'm gonna have to put him above average, and as defense types go, I'm gonna have to put Neji either above average or average. I haven't, fully done testing on one of his ults that I want to do that might jump him above average. But right now, I'm gonna put Neji Hyuga as average. Again, the best part about these lists is the fact that they are controversial and they are opinion based. These are my opinions on them, the way I look at the game and how they're used and how they're played. I've seen people use Shikamaru's moves super effective. Some people have been using Choji's a little bit. I'm going with how many abilities you have, the ease of use, and how popular they are amongst the community, amongst the builds that people don't like, amongst that they don't like when you're using them, and versus how much they just don't get any love. So this is my list. We will keep them updating. I love the support of the last video, guys. I think it has over 2,000 views for my small little channel. That might as well be a million. Whether you like this or not, you know, throw it in the comment section. Let me know. Give me your feedback. If I've rated Itachi too low, let me know why you think. I'll go back and I'll relook at Itachi. I'm completely open to your opinions. These are the way I look at these mentors on how I would use them. If someone's brand new coming to the game, they don't know anything about it, and they want, hey, who should I buy? If I'm not gonna buy, who should I use? That's the way I look at it. So thank you guys all. Remember to like, subscribe, join the Discord. The channel's been taken off lately. I appreciate all the love and support. And we'll catch you guys next time.